Hello everybody, welcome to episode 2 in the Laws of Nature short lecture series. Today we're talking about nurturing the horse while you develop the athlete. Let's get started. Whether we are training, breeding, or assessing talent, it's essential to remember one crucial aspect: the perspective of Mother Nature. Our endeavors to mold horses into disciplined performers necessitate a delicate balance between their innate instincts and the human-controlled environments that we provide. These environments, which I often refer to as the classrooms, demand that we align the sensory and psychological needs of horses with the learned behavior requirements of various disciplines. It is crucial that the emotionally sensitive horse can handle the psychological demands of the physical requirements of their discipline. In other words, we have to be sure, first and foremost, that we are working with a horse, or we select a horse that is emotionally capable of handling the physical rigors of becoming the athlete that we hope that they can be. There's a big difference between being an athlete and being athletic. Okay, an athlete has the mental capacity to optimize physical talent. We have to know that's there first. As is reflected in my Sensory Soundness scoring chart, which is available in the reference guide both on the blog and here on YouTube, when we delve into the intricacies of nurturing and developing our equine friends, it becomes evident that teaching them effectively hinges on understanding their vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities serve as a natural binding force among horses, enabling them to learn from one another in their native environment. It follows then that the more sensory sound a horse is, the closer it is to what I refer to as having independent nature. This concept, which I delve into further in Lecture Course 1 of A View from the Hoof, suggests that horses with fewer vulnerabilities require less external guidance for their psychological growth and learned behaviors. In other words, the further along you go in the hierarchy of the horses and the more sensory sound the horse is, the closer they become to independent nature. The closer they become to the independent nature, the less vulnerable they are. The less vulnerable they are, the less they need us to outsource to. They become a little more tricky to train. However, this inherent self-sufficiency can pose challenges in the context of domestication. It's great in the natural world. Sometimes it can be a little bit troublesome for us. Horses with lower vulnerability levels are positioned at a higher herd dynamic level in the natural order, making them less inclined to rely on humans for instruction. Consequently, traditional and commonly accepted training methods may struggle to employ these horses effectively, as they do not engage their psychological growth patterns properly. In other words, sometimes we have a really high-level horse that's extremely independent, and they don't oftentimes fit in the parameters that we hope. They're harder to train, they're harder to coach, and sometimes we need horses that have more vulnerabilities, especially depending on the discipline. Now, this is really discipline specific, and I have that outlined on the scoring chart on the blog, and you can take a look at that. But there are certain types of disciplines that require vulnerabilities for us to properly nurture and teach them and to give them the skills that they need to execute the physical actions that are needed. Sometimes, like a racehorse needs to have a higher degree of independent nature. And horses that are doing more things with us in unison need to have more vulnerability so that they outsource to us better and more efficiently. And they need to have that mental need to necessitate that vulnerability to make them want to work with us. If they're not having that, then they don't need us. In essence, different disciplines within equine training demand varying degrees of vulnerability from the horse. The suitability of a training method hinges on the horse's innate predispositions in the alignment of these traits with the requirements of the discipline in question, which is what we just talked about. This includes the degree of their sensory soundness, as each of the 6 zones of emotional sensitivities and alignment play an intricate role in how the horse is emotionally connected with their physical world, a connection through which physical expression is driven. Performance is driven by emotion. While this discussion merely scratches the surface of the complexities involved in nurturing and enriching the mind of the herd-wired horse, it underscores the importance of acknowledging and working within the parameters of Mother Nature's design. By understanding and respecting their natural inclinations, we can develop better and more productive, less emotionally traumatic, that's key, less emotionally traumatic coaching and handling methodologies that foster mutual understanding and cooperation between ourselves and the horses we love. Let me repeat that. is really important. By understanding and respecting their natural inclinations, we can develop better and more productive, less emotionally traumatic coaching and handling methodologies that foster mutual understanding and cooperation between ourselves and the horses that we all love. Learn more on the website, and like I said, there's a transcript of this on the blog that's just been posted, so check that out too. And if you really want to learn more, like I always say, make sure you visit the education area, because I continue to write courses and lesson material every single day in between horse cases. I'm just very, very driven to do that, because sometimes, like I say, the best investment you can make in your horse is an investment in yourself. So I'm Kerry Thomas. Until next time, be the bridge, not the block.